Hello everyone, this is Raj Bendre from Creative Wandering, and I welcome you to this very first edition of Presentation Sharing. The presentation that we are about to share with you in video format is Getting a Perspective on Our Place in the Universe. Let me repeat that for you. It is titled Getting a Perspective on Our Place in the Universe. It is kind of reflecting on our GPS location in this entire universe, right? Where do we stand? Where are we? Where do we need to go? All right, so it's all about that. It's going to be a really creative, wandering journey with you, me, and our imagination at play. So sit back, relax, and enjoy every moment of this with yourself, with your family, and everyone else around you. Thank you. Although each one of us has a different beginning and a different ending, what happens between birth and death is so very different for each one of us, isn't it? In fact, when you look back, you will see that we have always been creatively wandering, isn't it? We have been literally doing creative wandering, and that's why we are on this journey together, right? Alright then, let us explore together our place in the universe. Let us try to find out our GPS location in this infinity. Now here's the challenge. Did you know, for example, that the Earth goes around the Sun at this mind-boggling speed of 100,000 kilometers an hour? So is it even possible for us to know our true GPS location, which is always changing moment to moment? Let's go on this creative wandering journey further. Did you just notice that the diameter of the planets and the stars, which you are seeing in the video, which is playing in front of your eyes, is increasing all the time, and they're going from thousands of kilometers to millions of kilometers in diameter, and there is no end to this. This is so far as our observable universe is today. So now the question again is, where is my GPS location in this vast universe? Have you found out? So, what is our importance as a human being in this vastness? Is our self significant or insignificant? We could say that importance always means one thing in relation to another thing. There is no such thing as importance alone. So, the right evaluation would be that this context is important, goal of existence is important, and coherence of harmony in existence is important. Our place in that is very small, but our existence is also as important as the goal of existence, because as a human being, I have the possibility to know the goal of existence or this huge reality, understand the coherence of harmony in this reality, and actively participate. We just saw in previous slides our extraordinary ability to comprehend my own feelings, thoughts, imagination, and doings at this moment. Also, next, let's take a look at the phenomenon of emergence in creation, which is truly awe-inspiring and wonderfully complex. It represents the remarkable ability of simple components to self-organize and give rise to sophisticated, unpredictable, and often beautiful phenomena that transcend the properties of the individual parts. Patterns, structures, and behaviors that arise through emergence are often strikingly beautiful, suggesting an underlying harmony and elegance to the universe. The wonder of emergence lies in its ability to reveal the hidden potentials and creative capacities within the fundamental building blocks of reality itself. It invites us to marvel at the richness and complexity of the world around us, and to continually expand our understanding of the remarkable phenomenon of creation. One of the most outstanding examples of emergence in nature is one that is relatable to all of us on this planet, and that is of water. Water is an element that is formed by the molecular combination of hydrogen and oxygen. Now look at the properties of these two components from which water emerges. Hydrogen is a gas. Oxygen is a gas. Oxygen has a boiling temperature of minus 183 degrees Celsius. Hydrogen has a boiling temperature of minus 253 degrees Celsius. And water has a boiling temperature of 100 degrees Celsius. Oxygen is a gas at room temperature, and hydrogen is a gas at room temperature as well. If you take the case of hydrogen, it is highly inflammable, it is explosive. If you take the case of oxygen, it is necessary for combustion. Whereas if you take the case of water, it is used to extinguish flames. Now this emergent property of water, the wetness, the temperature at which it boils, its state of matter which is liquid, and its ability to extinguish flames is not present in either hydrogen or oxygen. So where did it come from? This property is called emergence. Now just two atoms, two different atoms of oxygen and hydrogen result in the formation of water, which is the reason for all of life on this planet. Can you imagine the beauty of emergence that simply exists in the building blocks of nature? The best example of emergence is self-awareness. Self-awareness is something that you, me, and everyone on this planet has. As an individual, I'm composed of numerous organs working together seamlessly. Cognitive neuroscience tells us that within my brain, over 100 billion neurons engage in constant communication, giving rise to the remarkable property of self-awareness. Consciousness allows me to perceive my body and world around me. Self-awareness goes a step beyond this perception. It involves recognizing my own consciousness, grasping my existence, and understanding that I am aware of my own being. So, here's a very plausible take on emergence that I'd like to share with you. Science today tells us that an average adult human body has about 30 trillion cells. A child might have 5 trillion cells in the body. two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen had the potential to emerge as water that made Earth full of life, then can you imagine the potential of a child having 5 trillion cells? The developmental possibilities of a child? Can you imagine that? Can we even remotely guess the potential of a child by any means? How can we allow the emergence of something new, totally new, from the infinite potential waiting to emerge from every child? Or do we still want to force fit our children into the 3,000 odd skills that the world believes in? The potential of our children is infinitely greater than a bundle of skills, whether it is artificial intelligence or machine learning or any other skill. So, can we allow it to emerge by creating the necessary initial conditions in the environment in which our child grows? Developing context sensitive awareness is essential for sense making in our world so that we can act in it. In any school, teachers, students, parents, and management must have clarity about context within which each one of them operates. Developing a context sensitive awareness enables us to learn how to categorize, how to analyze, how to probe, how to sense, how to act, and finally how to respond to changing contexts, which is vital in today's geopolitical situation. For example, we wake up in the morning and become aware of our individual context. A little while later, we see our parents or siblings and become aware of our family context. A few hours later, we go to a nearby shop or store to fetch milk and then become aware of our societal context. When we read the morning newspaper headlines, we become aware of our national and international context. When we watch live SpaceX crews in outer space and we see pictures of the Earth, Moon, Sun, and vast endless space, we become aware of the much larger context in which we are embedded. When we become aware of our current context, our natural sense-making abilities prepare us to understand the boundaries and constraints of that context. This understanding is informed by the knowledge we continuously gather by experiencing the reality around us. From this understanding of context, we can devise a plan of action to transcend or negotiate those boundaries and constraints. If you were to look at the visual in front of you, you will see that we have an individual context which is embedded in the family context, the family is embedded in the societal context, the society is embedded in the nation context, and the nation is embedded in the international context. There are other contexts which you will see in the next few visuals, but you can get an idea of how entangled and embedded we are in different contexts. And the more context we have, the more we can make sense in the world where we have to act. If you look at the interesting cube in front of you, it shows you the 6 dimensions of prosperity that comes with labor. What essentially it is trying to tell you is that if you put your labor or hard work into these dimensions, then you will become prosperous. So the dimensions are food, long distance travel or ornamentation, shelter, telecom and television. Alright, so if you put labor into these dimensions, then you will definitely make money in this world or you will be prosperous in this world. As human beings, we try to avoid and eliminate ambiguity and uncertainty. Alicia Juarero has said, nature and evolution do not favor stability and equilibrium. Instead, natural processes select for resilience and adaptability, for characteristics that foster evolvability. Living things learn from the past and anticipate the future and then modify themselves to handle ambiguity, uncertainty, and unwelcome perturbations. Handle and manage, not avoid and eliminate ambiguity and uncertainty. That's the